Okay, as we look on the optimization workflow inside the view, let's look a little bit closer on the options and properties for the view application. So we'll go inside the file. Right here, you'll notice we have an option menu we can access. So let's look closer on each section and object inside these options properties. So first, general preferences. Right here, we have an option to load and save options. First, you'll notice by default it will check in, create scenery on a startup. So it will create empty scenery. Without this, it won't anything create like we won't have it any distance, clouds or anything. So you can disable this by unchecking, or you can set your default scenery if you enable N1 preload. One maybe way you already have it mountain select or other ways. If you set default scenery and you want to revert after to the factory default, you need going inside your environment tab and remove default startup scenery.view from there. So it's a reference to this. Next, we have a save configuration upon exit. It's highly recommended by Vue to enable this. It's mean when you do modification, exit your application, it will remember settings that you applied. However, if you like me and sometimes record tutorials and you do some wild stuff with properties, you maybe want to uncheck this so it won't save all your modifications. Or for example, if you let your kids play inside the view and you don't want to mess up with your settings and after try to find what was done, you can uncheck this. You can leave it check also on and just revert after to your save configurations as well if you needed to restore it. Next, we have a save scenery with small picture and last render. So it's create this thumbnail view when you save your scenery. This is probably one is highly recommended by me because I always have had so many works. I need to go back and find an image of the picture. Does help on thumbnails to identify properly. However, if you going to work on a large projects and you maybe don't want them just names, you can uncheck this as well. The make backup copies when saving allowed you to create backup every time when you save application. So currently you notice I don't have it numbered backup. So when I click a save work, it will create just a one back file from previous saved version. So it's kind of one ahead behind. You can also set numbered backup and you can set how many you wanted. This is will use it space on your hard drive, and in all time when you have a limited hard drive space, you maybe want kind of even disable this, but currently I find many times you want to enable, and actually you can even go to the numbered backup so you can go back to different revisions and see if you have something even better. So I do recommend keep it up. Again, this is only the reason I see to disable if you have some very limited space on your hard drive. Maybe if you're using laptop and you have an SSD drive where it still be a little bit limitation. In this case, you maybe want to disable that. Use it system browser. This will apply when you loaded any libraries, materials, maybe plans or other things, and it's using new kind of preview type. If you want to use it all the file browser system when you can navigate through all files is selected, so you can enable this. The next option, enable after savings. By enabling this option, your snapshot icon will active and enable as well, so it's allowed you to snapshot, and we'll look after how to use this. This is other properties is highly recommend to use. It's allowed you to Vue save in a background, so you won't see any performance decreasing when you work with this, but it will save your scenery, for example right here, every 5 minutes, and it's up to 10 different copies. So in the case if something happened with application or with your computer, you can go back to after save version and restore it or preload it from that your selection. As well, this option is required when using snapshots or you want to restore from snapshots properties, so this is need be enabled. Okay, the preview options we cover in introduction to Vue, but let's go ahead over them again. The function options, it's allowed us to select how we preview materials or functions inside function editor. For example, we're using as a object and we're using as a sphere object. You can change to the cube, terrains, or any other, and also the object size. The same things will apply for the material options, only except right here you notice we have a background type, light or dark. We also can force this as a global properties to override saved options. Next, we have a disable automatic material preview render. So when we create new materials, it's kind of render in our preview and we can force to disable. This is options you can use if you have a performance issue with a video card and render on a screen. And next, only render materials preview in active editor. And the same, these options become useful when your system become very slow, when you edit like complex type hierarchical materials. And if you select these options, the only materials in a function previews that is on the top editors will be refreshed. So it's kind of a limitation on this, but overall these two will affect if you have a performance issue when you work with the complex materials or other things. So you can, in this case, can try and check those ones or check those options. Next, it's allowed you to control if you're allowed to network or internet connections of your applications to the EON software server. In this case, you'll notice right here you have it all connections, or you can specifically disable like automatic check for new software updates, check for new contests, or check for the fresh news and tutorials. So depend on your properties, or maybe if you don't want to send or receive some information, you can uncheck this. However, the Vue, when you're installing and all this, it will request to apply and activate your software. These options does not affect that.